here, so excited about this video. I'm excited about this video because I believe it is going to really help somebody, because this isn't something that they teach in school. At least when I was in school, I did, or the days that I showed up, I didn't I didn't learn this in school. So I got this question the other day and she said, please do a video on how to have a successful job interview, being confident in the interview. I know you are set on ownership, but I need a job right now just to get started. And I love this question. So I'm going to give you guys 7 tips on having a successful job interview. So tip number 1 is to make sure you at least like the company that you're going to apply for. It doesn't necessarily have to be your passion, although I am big on, doing what it is that you're passionate about. But at the end of the day, all of us are passionate about surviving and eating and living a wonderful life. So you can be just passionate about working, period, to receive an income. But just make sure, like, if you don't like clothes, if your fashion isn't your thing, don't necessarily go apply in a clothing store. But if you like children, go apply somewhere dealing with children. Just make sure you at least like it, because you did say something for right now just to get you started. So that's number 1. Make sure you at least like where it is that you're going. Number 2 is to do your research. Now, just for an example, I want to use the store Hobby Lobby. Say if you're going to apply at Hobby Lobby, the founder and CEO, Dave Green, he wrote a book called More Than a Hobby. I love this book. If you guys don't have this book, it's a really, really good read. But just say if you wanted to work at Hobby Lobby, it would be so awesome if you read this book first before you actually went in to have the interview. Not to say that you're gonna get an interview with Mr. David Green himself. However, you will get an interview with the manager that knows that David wrote a book, and I'm sure the manager has read it, and it will just look so good for you if you have read their book. So if the company that you're going to work for, if they have a blog, which is not uncommon these days, make sure you read it, and while you're in the job interview, make sure you refer back to it. So if you're in the job interview and he says something that they mention either in their book or in their blog, you can just bring it up and say, oh yeah, I remember on page 33 when you spoke about, or in that article that you wrote. That will blow their freaking socks off. So do your research before you go in there. That will help you be a little bit more confident. And tip number 3 is to make sure you have on the proper attire. You want to dress the way that you want to be addressed. You don't want to go in there how you guys usually see me coming onto YouTube with my shoulder hanging out. That's not the proper attire to go for a job interview. Then again, depending on what industry you're going into. So you want to make sure your clothes match the industry that you're going into. That's number 3. Number 4 is so key and so important. I swear if they would have taught this in schools, so many more people would be way more effective communicators. Number 4 is to say their name. Say their name at least 2 or 3 times during the interview. There's nothing sweeter to a person than the sound of their own name. When I'm in conversation with people, I always say their name while I'm talking to them. It changes everything. It's like it touches like a soft spot in their heart. Like, say your name right now. I'm gonna say my name, Angel. Angel. Hello, Angel. Angel. Like, that sounds good and it feels good. So you want to make sure you say their name at least 2 or 3 times throughout the interview. It will make them feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Number 5, I think we're on number 5. Yeah, number 5 is to ask questions. This is so powerful. There is a saying that says, the one who asks the most questions is the one who is controlling the conversation. So when you go into this job interview, make a list of questions that you have about the company. That will show your interest in this company times 10. The person that is interviewing you will feel that you are really invested in this job interview, in this job position. So make sure you ask questions. It's no problem. You know, take a notepad in there with you with your questions on hand. Number 6 is one of my pet peeves. And this is so like, oh my goodness, arrive at least 30 minutes beforehand. Now, everywhere I go, I don't care where it is, I at least like to get there at least 45 to 60 minutes prior to the time that I'm supposed to be there, because you never know what could happen. Traffic, your car could break down, or an accident or something. So you just want to give yourself enough time to get there on time so you're not making the person wait for you. And the last and final tip, which is the most important tip out of them all, like I could have just come on and just said this and it would have helped you. And it's this: your attitude is everything. Make sure you are likable. I mean, you could know zip, zilch, zero about the company that you're applying for, but if they sense that you have a great personality and a great attitude and you are likable, they will hire you, because most people know that it is so much easier to train someone that has a great attitude than it is to hire someone and train somebody that they could even know the position. They could be highly qualified for this position and have a horrible attitude, and they won't get the position. So make sure that your attitude is in check. You got to be a likable person. And this goes back to knowing who you are and doing all of that, cleaning up all that stuff on your personality, and making sure you're not carrying any baggage from your past, and just all of that stuff that I talk about on all my other videos. You just want to make sure that you are lighthearted and you have a really good attitude. And I want to share, just like as a side note, my daughter started working at Target a couple years ago, and within 6 months, if you guys think I have like a good attitude and I'm upbeat, my oldest daughter, both of my children have really good attitudes. However, my 20-year-old is out in the world working now. And she started working at Target. My daughter's attitude is like, she could make me feel like I'm a depressed person. That's how like bubbly she is. And so she went up in that company, like within 6 months she got like two raises, 2 promotions, and then she became like the front end manager, and it was all within a short amount of time, because she had such a good attitude. If you have a good attitude, that's like a breath of fresh air. People will hire you just on that. That's one story I want to share with you. The other story that I want to share with you is your girl used to work at Advance Auto Parts. Advance Auto Parts is a car parts store that you go and buy car parts. And I used to work there back in 2004, 5, or 6, something around those years. I believe it was like 2005. And I got that job. The way I got that job was insane. I went there to get my battery changed in my car, and I overheard the 2 guys that were changing my battery. They were talking about somebody had quit there last night, and at this time I didn't write it. I hadn't written any books. I wasn't on YouTube. I didn't even know my purpose at this time. I knew my purpose. I knew I liked people. I'm not going to say that I didn't know my purpose, but I wasn't as crystal clear and like walking in it the way that I am now. And so I overheard them say that 2 people quit the night before, and I just out of nowhere, I was just like, I'll work here. And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, I'll work here. So the manager told me to go in and fill out an application. I went in and I filled out the application, and I got the job. So the thing about this is I worked at Advance Auto Parts for about a year, but I was only in there for maybe like 6 or 7 months, like working in the store. The reason is because I worked there for a year. However, I was only there for 6 months, but I was still in their books for a year. Let me tell you why. My oldest brother had went into a coma. And I called Advance Auto Parts and told them, you know, I had a family emergency. My brother is in a coma. They don't know if he's gonna make it, and so I quit. I told them, I was like, I need to quit because I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to come back to work. They wouldn't let me quit. They were like, Angel, take your time, go take care of your family, come back to us when everything is okay. My brother was in a coma for a couple weeks, and so I'm just like thinking to myself, there's no way I can still have this job. So I called them a second time, let them know that my brother was still in the coma, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So I wanted to give my position away. I didn't want to hold on to it and stop someone else from having that position. Wouldn't let me quit. Again, Angel, take care of your family, come back to us when everything is fine. And so that's what I did. A couple weeks went on by again, and I called them back a third time. And this third time that I called back, like, I had to quit. And I had to tell them that I need to leave. I have to quit, because that's when I went on to open up my store. My brother, he came out of the coma, thank God, and everything was okay. But the point of it is, I knew absolutely nothing, zip, zilch, zero, about car parts. Like, nothing. But the reason why they kept me there and the reason why they liked me was because I had a good attitude. And the funny thing is that, you know, you're working in an auto parts store and you have all of these men coming in here. Typically, it's more men that come into the auto parts store than women. So they see a cute girl working in there, and a lot of people would always come to my line because, you know, you walk and you see this cute girl, okay, I'm gonna go on her line. My line was always so long because people eventually got to know me and they just wanted to talk to me. Like, I would be checking people out and asking them about their kids, asking them about their family, asking them about their life, and the customers started to get to know me, and the company saw that I was a likable person and I added value to their company, not because I knew what an oil change was or what an oil plug was or what the catalytic converter was. Not because of any of that. It was strictly because of my attitude. So I said all of that to say, if you have an amazing attitude and people know, they can sense that, people will want to hire you in their company because they realize that as long as you have a good attitude, they can train you to do anything. But if you know their business or know that company and you don't have a good attitude, they will bypass someone that is fully qualified and work with someone that has the good attitude over the person that knows everything with the horrible attitude. So I really hope this video has helped you in a really good way. And also another thing that I wanted to share too is you mentioned being confident in the interview. Having confidence is knowing who you are and what you can do, right? So when you go into the interview, you want to make sure that to be confident within yourself. You may not be confident in the task that you are applying for because you don't know it, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that you are confident in yourself to know that you can learn it, you are teachable, you're likable, you're coachable, and you're willing to be open to learning. So that's where your confidence is going to come in. Be confident in yourself. You don't necessarily have to be confident within the task because you haven't done it yet, and so that's okay. The confidence in that will come later on, but just make sure that you have the confidence within yourself, and you want to make sure you sit up straight and, like I said, dress appropriately and wear comfortable clothes so you're not doing like I'm doing right now. I keep tugging because my bra strap keeps showing, and I can see it out of the corner of my eye. But you want to make sure that you're comfortable in the clothes so you can sit up and be confident within that job interview. So I hope that has helped you so much. I love you guys from the bottom to the top, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if there is anybody that works in human resources, please drop some more tips down below and give her some more of your insight as well to help our girl get a job. I absolutely love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.